Essentially, this is gonna be a very, very interesting situation, which, I mean, it's basically tells a story of content creation versus, I don't know if it's passion. I don't really know how do I describe this. But okay, essentially this is just a very, very interesting situation. In case you guys are unaware, this video was just posted 7 hours ago. Maygi, which is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best theory crafters for Wuthering Waves, by the way. She does extensive Wuthering Waves coverage for like guide making, theory crafting, numbers crunching. She literally streams herself coding. That's how involved she is with regards to numbers. And essentially, she's gone. She's gone. I think she changed the title of this video, right? I think she changed the title of the video. Essentially, Kuro Games ended her contract. So I think it was a previous title before this. After watching that video, right, I feel like it's extremely important for you guys to sort of understand what exactly is the context that's going on over here, right? Maygi's backstory was essentially she was a full-time employee that started off making content for Wuthering Waves last time. Sort of like myself when I first started off content creation. So she started off as essentially just a hobby, because she liked playing Wuthering Waves. She likes to crunch numbers, and she likes to do guides and everything. So eventually she noticed that the guides that she has been uploading for Wuthering Waves, alright, because these are like, oh my god, I don't even know what videos that. Yeah, essentially the guys that she does one where I feel like she wanted to take this opportunity to make the leap and go into full-time content creation. So she essentially quit her full-time job and jumped into being a full-time content creator, right, for both YouTube video content as well as streaming on Twitch. So the context as to why this happened, it's honestly exploded on Twitter, because a lot of people on Twitter as well as Reddit, Discord and everything, even like as long as you're playing Wuthering Waves and you're part of like the community, right, people will definitely talk about this, because essentially what Maygi did was apparently she leaked. Yeah, apparently she leaked like the numbers for I believe Zani or Canderella on stream. Essentially, I don't know if anyone has the actual stream itself, but essentially she leaked numbers, right? So for example, like your damage multipliers or like the resonance ultimate cost, the passive and everything. She essentially used the numbers that was available to her from whatever ways that she saw it, and she wanted to make use of those numbers to tier craft and crunch out and put guides for Wuthering Waves. So I'm guessing what happened essentially was after yesterday's Wuthering Waves live stream, right? After yesterday's Wuthering Waves live stream, she was not too happy with the anniversary patch itself, and I feel she probably had a bit of a disdain for the not for the guides, by the way, not for the guides and not for the theory and the numbers crunching, but for the community itself. Alright, for the player base that plays Wuthering Waves, that are very, very vocal in like all these social media platforms, and I guess she got ratted, because she basically said in her own little Discord channel that this is a perfect opportunity to basically talk about why this game is not too good. All right, and I think people screenshotted her texts in her Discord, leaked it onto Twitter, and then Twitter exploded. But the thing is, her server is not I don't think it's a very big server. That's the thing. Like, for example, if I were to say some crazy shit right now, people are gonna take that shit out of context and it's gonna go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It is very, very easy to basically just join this and just spin a narrative, and it will explode and it will be Jover. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at what Ryugu has to say. Alright, a quick little 19-minute video. I think we're gonna speed this up a little bit because out of this video, I want to essentially bring a little bit of insight, because I think this entire situation, it's beyond just a simple matter of she did leaks. Because if that was the sole reason why she got removed and why she's like outed by the community, she would have been outed months ago. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, let's take a look.
Released a video and also a tweet going along with that video saying, Kuro Games ended my career. I wish that was just clickbait hyperbole, but they actually did. Lol. They kicked me from the Wuthering Waves content creator program based on mass reports. Who would report a spreadsheet and guide gremlin though? Like, come on, more info. And then she's got the video here, which is linking to this video, which was released 4 hours ago, currently sitting at 28,000 views there, getting a lot of attention. Let's just see what she has to say about what actually happened, shall we? Well, what actually happened according to her, that is. In this video here, this is what she says.
I wanted to make a short little update video.
Okay.
So recently, I've been burnt out for various
Okay, chat. I'm just gonna skip to the part where he finishes because we just finished this ourselves. All right. Okay, never mind. He just, bro, turned her react into a 10-minute. Okay, you know what? We're gonna watch the whole thing. Right? We're gonna watch the whole thing.
Most of which are related to
W
issues
farming
with the
Ryuku.
World
That's
CC
crazy.
space. But to add insult to injury, Kuro recently removed me from the official content creator program.
Okay. Why?
The reason for this is that I have been mass reported by people suspecting me of leaking.
Suspecting her of leaking. Suspicions.
I have no clue for how this came to be.
I have no clue for how this came to be. No clue.
Whoa, what a coincidence. She also uses a rectifier. Just like my purely theoretical character, you know.
So what exactly is this theoretical character? Let's see what she says.
This is, a purely theoretical, Wamudayo, okay? Lambdas, like this character from Gravel Fantasy. She's like a jellyfish,
A
okay?
jellyfish.
We're going to make up a kit for this purely theoretical jellyfish, okay?
Purely theoretical
and by
jellyfish.
that, I mean, I already made up the kit, okay? This is just pure, theoretical right here, okay?
Okay, I just want to say, right? Legally speaking, and realistically speaking, all your content creators do this. You know it. I know it. It's like you would never download music. Right? You would never jaywalk. You know? Not me though, not me. Right? Not me. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. But like, I'm just saying, this is way more common than you might think it is. And I personally don't think this is the only reason why she got removed. But let's continue here.
So she already has the kit that's purely theoretical, and it's interesting how certain names just happen to be exactly the same as other certain names in another certain character's kit that hasn't been released yet. As you can see from this video here, this is from patch 2.2 Theorycraft Prep. This was streamed on the 21st of March 2025. Controller was not released until a week after that, on the 27th of March. Just Controller herself was not actually released until, or shown until, March 23rd. Same thing for her weapon over here. March.
Bagable, there's no way you're saying Shizo. This is a very, very normal speaking pace, right? Bro, it's literally like, you know, absolutely not. You're used to this. Chat, you're used to this, right?
23rd.
Lock
So
in.
this is a full 2 days before anyone had any information officially about this character whatsoever. Hazy Dream Jolt, for example, it's a damage one here. It's a passive with 100% proc and 6.5 seconds of duration. Interesting. And this character was not released yet. This is, of course, this is the controller character right now. Happens to be a jellyfish. And then when we look at the skill here, Hazy Dream Jolt. Hazy Dream procs for 6.5 seconds. Interesting. That's really, really strange.
But okay, there's technically nothing wrong. There really is technically nothing wrong. Like with doing this. Like theoretically speaking, like fucking Mickey Mouse has a fucking cannon that does it. Like there's literally nothing actually wrong that they could have used to remove this. The only thing that would actually be like legit wrong are the numbers. Like the exact bar for bar numbers. That is the thing that mostly get people. Or if you were to show unreleased footage, right? The actual game client of units that were not released to the public, that's fine. Anybody could just say, oh, theoretically, this unit called Mickey Mouse, she has a fucking giant greatsword. Alright, and she sits down. And then she has a huge tits, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's nothing wrong here.
So here's how it's gonna work. She is going to use basic attacks, liberation, and intro to generate forte. When she has enough forte, you enter a special mode where your attacks consume forte to give you Forte 2, okay? So you get Forte 1, you go to a different mode, then you use Forte 2, and then you do a big bang boom. Okay, that's the TLDR.
Who does that sound like? For this purely theoretical character that has no information released about them so far. Literally nothing. Like I said, this video was released, well, this live stream was streamed 4 weeks ago at the time of recording this video here, 21st of March. And just say, yes, this is not a breakdown of the controller's kit that has been released already. It hasn't. This is about a week before that. But in her own words, this is what she says.
We have a theoretical character with a theoretical kit, okay? And we're making a theoretical rotation to see the theoretical damage, you know?
So, guys, this is purely...
okay, honestly, this is a lot of theoretical. It is a lot of theoretical. Like when you get to this deep, it's sort of grays and like, okay, sort of, for example, if I were to say theoretically speaking, you know, Cypher could be a DOT unit, or she could be an Aircron support. Theoretically speaking, nothing's gonna happen. But if I were to randomly say, yo, theoretically speaking, here are the numbers charts, here are the exact Eidolon damage multipliers, here are the performance that she's gonna be getting with Acheron, with Facial, with all the other teams. So here, theoretically speaking, this is not Cypher, but theoretically speaking, here you go, boom, right? That is where the line gets a little bit, you know.
But
I hope that you guys get what I'm saying, right? There's like a certain line that, even though it's a very, very gray line, I feel like people with common sense would know where do you not cross. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to be a content creator to know this, essentially.
theoretical kit, okay? And we're making a theoretical rotation to see the theoretical damage, you know?
So yeah, guys, this is purely theoretical, absolutely purely 100% theoretical. There's no leaks. This is purely theoretical. This came to me in a dream. It came to me in a dream, and I wanted to put that out there just to see what happened. Like, why not? Why just make a theoretical character for like no reason really? There's like a character come out in a week or so, and this kit may or may not be near identical to that kit in a week, but this is theoretical, guys. It's theoretical. It's theoretical. No leaks whatsoever. Purely theoretical. And even though she's saying it's purely theoretical, it's really interesting. Like, okay, what we got here? Intro, Cruise. This is the name that should come up with the name for the Cruise here. So going to Cantarella. What's intro skill here? That's the name? Cruise. Okay, that's pure coincidence there. What about this? Basic Illusion Collapse. 3 cancel. What about here? Basic. What's the basic normal attack? Illusion Collapse. Interesting. Okay. Skill. Graceful Step. Cancel. Okay, let's go for the skill. Where's the skill? Dance with the Shadows. Not exactly there, but kind of close. Graceful Step, you know. Hazy Dream. Okay. No, it is right there. It's right there. It's not the main skill thing, but it's actually one part of it. Graceful Step here. Let's go in here. Liberation. Flowing Suffocation. Let's go to Liberation. Beneath the Sea. Flowing Suffocation. It's really interesting how bang on she's getting these names here. But what else does she have to say about this purely theoretical kit, guys? Absolutely purely theoretical. So this part of the video, this is where she's creating a brand new, completely theoretical
Jenna Z, the Warring Waves anniversary 07, 3 hours long.
weapon for this brand new theoretical
Let's
character.
add a new rectifier. Okay, the base attack should be, I don't know, we could just keep it 40. Every other's 5-star rectifier is 40. A crit or crit damage, guys. I'm feeling crit damage. See, we're kind of alternating, right? So crit damage, 16%,
16?
and it has a passive.
Passive? What's passive?
And then what does this?
Okay, chat. I'm just gonna skip through this part because it essentially is basically Ryuku making a point that even though it is purely theoretical, you know it, I know it, she was basically referring to Cantarella, right? I think we can sort of cut, because I want to get to the what this actually means for the result of her termination, essentially, right? We agree? Okay, very good. Let's go.
What is happening right now? On top of that, there's also evidence here of screenshots from her own Discord, where she's saying here, this is honestly the best time for me to make a video, talking about my negative experience as a Wuthering Wave CC, and how scuffed their system is while everyone's raging at Kuro. So again, it does really sound like she is riding on this hate train against Kuro, because like it just sounds opportunistic, and I don't like that, to be honest. Anyway, Wuthering Waves is mid. Now I'll go back to spending my entire day making more content for it because my life is pathetic. Bye. Okay. What? I don't really care about that. And like I said, I've messaged.
So all these screenshots, right? It basically came from like her server. I don't even know how big a server is. I can't imagine there's like a lot of people. All these got released yesterday after the Wuthering Waves anniversary live stream. Because what I'm guessing is she didn't like the live stream as a Wuthering Waves content creator. And what happened was there are people in the server that really didn't like that opinion. They really didn't like that, you know, she would say such things. And it got to Twitter, and then it exploded. And everyone's talking about it now.
Her in DMs on Discord, asking her to like basically explain like what was going on here.
Clippers,
she basically said, "This is how I've always done everything." Like, yeah, that doesn't
yep.
really excuse anything,
Yep.
does it? And then
And
when
there
I
it
pressed
is.
her on that, she said, "Well, this is a problem between me and Kuro." I was like, "Yeah, it might have been, but once you published that video and then you made it public to everyone, you made it a problem between you, Kuro, and everyone else. If she'd kept this private, kept this secret, whatever, I don't mind, then that's completely her business, and no one would have any right to go into that. But because she's made that video and made it public, here we are." And she even admitted here, "I'm not disagreeing that I did pre-release theory crafting," as in like talking about.
This was in Gen chat, by the way. I was there. Your boy was there. Every day without fail, I lurk in Gen stream. I'm one of his favorite viewers. I think almost everyone was there in Genesis stream. In fact, I would love to talk to Genesis about it if he wants down, right? But we'll take a look at this first, right? But yeah,
characters kits before they were released or announced or anything like that. That was technically against the rules, though I think most creators do that anyway, and the outcome is unfortunate. No, I don't think most creators do that. There are leak creators out there, and guess what? They're not in the content creator server. You can continue to do these theory crafting videos or live streams if you want, but don't expect to be allowed in the content creator server if you want to do that. You can't have your cake and eat it too, you know? Your career isn't ended. You can still get the leaks anywhere you want and still make all the content that you've been doing thus far. You're just not in the content creator server. Pretty simple. And like I said, neither am I. So I have no skin in this game whatsoever. Apparently this was on a Genesis stream. The thing is, like, I don't even log on to the betas. Lol, I just use the sites that data mine all the numbers and put them on a freaking spreadsheet. So again, she's admitting that she's using data mined leaked numbers to create these purely theoretical characters in her live streams. So going back to saying Kuro Games ended my career.
Before this, I just want to say, like I said at the start of this video, right? I really personally think that if the people they are willing to put in the effort, right? They're not taking your time, they're not taking your money, they're not taking any of your attention. Like they themselves want to take it upon themselves to find out and crunch the numbers so that they can make a guide as fast as humanly possible by the time the unit comes out, and make a guide that has all these numbers in place for the players that care about these numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't think that the things that she did, it was like so morally wrong to the point where she deserves to be crucified. Because at the end of the day, she's just somebody that wants to make a guide for the game. And I don't think that is an overall negative for the game, which is the main topic I want to talk about later on, which is this entire thing really like a... Like, is she a bad person? Are you a bad person for like leaking? Because at this point, she's basically getting... I would say she's kind of like exposed as somebody that goes through leaks. She has a leaks channel in the Discord. She does leaks on stream. But I feel like after all that, it is not that bad.
Characters in her live streams. So going back to saying...
Just my opinion though, by the way. Nothing factual. Feel free to just correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's
Kuro Games ended my career.
Because if not her, then who? Right? Exactly like what Ryuku said. If not her, then who? Like, who else are you going to do it? Is anyone else going to take the time to start coding, doing the Python, doing the charts and everything to crunch the numbers for Wuthering Waves? Because I don't think there's going to be a lot of people willing to do this, man. Because it takes a shit ton of time, a shit ton of knowledge to actually do this in place.
No. You ended your own career. Well, with Kuro Games, that is. You can continue to make content if you want. Just not in the content creator server. Pretty simple. Okay, well, I was in the middle of editing what I've just said and what you've just seen. I asked Maygi to say, are you going to make a follow-up video to explain what the actual truth of the situation is, to like clarify what I...
Holy shit, there's like a whole ass a saying. Okay, I'm not going to read through, I'm not going to read all that, but we're just like, hey, Ryuku, thank you so much. Hail Ryuku, hail Ryuku.
Perceived to be the misinformation that you put out there, the disingenuousness, and to clarify things so everyone knows exactly what is true. She sent me a screenshot saying, well, I put it on Reddit. I'm like, all right, so let's see what she says here. This is her post here. Maygi in the r/Wuthering Waves. She probably should have made a video, because if she tells everyone on a Twitter post and in a video, she should probably explain to everyone in a Twitter post or in a video, preferably both. But we've got this here. So she says, explaining why I got suspended as a Wuthering Waves content creator. Hi everyone, when I'm posting here, it's typically a text guide, but this time it's something a bit different. Recently, I've been removed from the Wuthering Waves content creator program under the grounds of multiple complaints of suspected involvement with leaks. I've attempted to appeal this with Kuro, but they haven't addressed my appeal and only continue to repeat themselves before ghosting me. In the meantime, I made a very short video to announce the fact that I've decided to hold off on more information until the situation has sorted out with Kuro. But based on the amount of fire this started, I figured it'd be better if I explained some things myself. But you did leak pre-release calcs. It doesn't take a genius to know that to get a video out on day one, math needs to be done ahead of time. While I'm not sourcing the leaks by logging into betas and spreading them, I use values from sites such as Wuthering Wiki. I understand this is technically still working with a leak. Yes. But all my content, my video and text guides are not released until the patch is ready. No. I just showed earlier you were releasing this purely theoretical character a week ahead of the release of the character. But whatever, let's just continue on here. I'm stumbling over my words. Similar to other creators. Again, no, not similar to anyone. However, the one difference is that I stream my theory crafting process. Again, this is the main problem. I'm crossing a very gray line here. There's no gray line. It is a mistake. It is a mistake. It's not a gray line. It is completely out of bounds. You're not allowed to do that. I do it because the theory craft process takes me 20 to 30 hours. Do it off stream. And the rest of the production process requires me to be offline, heads down, working for another 20 plus hours. So I wanted to stream that to not be dead. No, you're not.
Yeah, okay. I think we are pretty much in agreement here, right? It is working with leaks. So for example, for like a certain, shit, if you want to look at numbers, Google, right? Shit, You know, it's like imagine if I were to start making bro, yo chat, let's start streaming a next. Okay, but anyways, yep. So I completely understand what Ryuko is saying over here, and I'm in full agreement, right? You're basically, you know, as a content, maybe not even like grounds for like legal actions, but like you're just not really allowed to do that because they are technically leaks, right? No matter how many theoretical situations you want to spin it, the moment you slap on the graphs, the numbers, the charts, you know, like at that point, you're sort of like, okay, yeah, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. You know, it is a mistake. There is no gray line for this. It is absolutely a mistake. The thing with this is, as well as the one that Ryuko mentioned, to do it off stream, right? Do the process off stream, which is what I think most people would have done as well, right? Nobody really streams themselves crunching numbers, leaking data, all that kind of stuff. Which sort of brings me to like the one of the topic that I wanted to, you know, possibly discuss. The thing is, her content is revolving around the numbers, right? They basically revolve around the process of getting the numbers, the process of crafting, right? Literally making the codes, updating the Python code, updating the charts. Like that's her stream content. It's not really the final product for the YouTube video. It's like her stream is revolving around the process of getting to the final product, right? You're not gonna see like, she's gonna start spamming like holograms, or like she's gonna start doing account reviews, or she's gonna start playing story for like 20 hours. Her main content is revolving around the process of getting the numbers themselves. So while she could do all these things offline, I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna be a sustainable way for a content creator, especially a content creator at this size, to make it enough to fully sustain her living as a full-time content creator. So as much as you can say, you know, you want to do it off stream, right? Just do it off stream, just don't leak. If her whole channel is built around the quantitative guides with numbers, it's very hard to say you do all these off stream, and on top of that, you want to stream doing other things, and then on top of that, you have to do guides after you compile those numbers. And at that point, I don't really even know like what is like the best way to go about it. Play Epic 7. I don't know, right? Let's just move on over here, right? Food for thought, essentially.
Allowed to do that. It doesn't matter. You can't put that information out there ahead of everyone else. You can work on it if you want to. Probably shouldn't, but you can to get it out on day one. You shouldn't live stream it, because then you're putting it out there for the public. What about the zani thing? In February, I made a video with the caption, "What if a future character consumes spectrofrazzle?" This wasn't a leak at all, actually. True. At least not in the way that people think. Zani wasn't even playable until the most recent beta a week ago, but again, the video was back in February. The basis for the video was based on a miscommunication from the Kuro side, where in patch 2.1, the creator program gave out an information packet to creators regarding negative statuses, urging us to use it to make content. It was not stated to be confidential or not to be shared. The information itself was extremely basic, with generic descriptions for various negative statuses that can be found in-game. However, there was one specific hint that was written regarding maybe a potential future character might do this. Seeing that we were told to make content using this, I did exactly that. But I did raise an eyebrow and reach out to Kuro staff, to my Kuro staff.
Yo, Jamie, that is absolutely true. This is why most CCs don't do calculation and theory crafting, because you spend 10% of the time making drama video for views. I mean, it's just true, man. Like as much as you want to spin it, you react to something for 20-30 minutes, you're done. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to do something that, you know, this level of meticulousness, I'm sorry guys, I can't English. It takes a lot more time. It just is, man. Like from a time to effort ratio perspective, you know.
Contact. I managed to get in contact with the one who wrote the document, and they weren't even aware that got sent out. Yet alone that the creator program had said to use it for content. Yet alone that
I did a crazy speed and AV spreadsheet because I'm him.
Yet alone that the creator program had said to use it for content. The staff explained that it wasn't meant to be directly quoted in the way that I did in my initial video, but it was okay for me to write it off as speculation. So I republished the video, and they thanked me for pointing out the problem, as they eventually reached out to the content creator program and had them send out an update to clarify how would be allowed to, how things would be allowed to handle information. TLDR, I'm not perfect. I've done things that go against the rules of the program by streaming.
Sarah does not help me here, everybody. Shut the fuck up.
My theory cracking process. Even if my guide video releases after the patch releases. Exactly, that is the problem. So while my removal from the program is justified based on that, It's a bit unfortunate things turned out like this because I think I help a lot of people out with the work I do, and that my usage of such information is never malicious, and I just want to get some work done on stream. The thing that's a bit funny is that I do the same process for theory crafting all the time, but half the time it's completely okay because every mid-patch character is in-game already. Anyways, I've been getting sent threats and I'm just tired. Regardless if you think that what I did was deserved or not, the end result is the same. That's one less person attempting to make helpful guides and content for the game. Now, you're misconstruing the problem. You working with that information, you probably shouldn't do it in the first place because, again, you're working with leaked information. But if you are going to work with leaked information to create your guides, because I understand it can take a long time to make that guide content. That's why I don't do it. That's not for me. If you want to do that, perfectly up to you. But you shouldn't be doing that on stream, because when you're doing that on stream, you are making it public for everyone to access, for everyone to see, and that is breaching the NDA, the confidentiality that you have with Kuro Games. And that is the reason for them removing you from the content creator program for leaks, because you are literally making that confidential information out, leaking out to the public. So you are engaging in leaks. It is not a gray zone. Well, it's on a live stream, so it doesn't count, does it? Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So try and say, oh, it's kind of a gray zone. No, this is not an excuse in my opinion. That's why I think I even said earlier in the video, I can't remember, I said a lot of stuff, I had to cut a lot out. But like with the zani thing, no, that was Kuro's problem. That was Kuro's mistake, and they fessed up, and that is not the reason why you got removed from the content creator program. In my opinion, it's because of the controller thing. And there's probably other characters as well that I don't know about, because I'll be honest, I don't watch your content. Someone in my community asked me, can I reach out to Kuro to like kind of sort this problem out? I said, I'm not in any official capacity with Kuro Games, so I can't do that, but I'll look into the situation. I looked into it, it smelled a bit fishy. I looked at it even further, it was fishy. So no, you really should have made a video. First of all, you should take that video down. You should take this video here, Kuro Games ended my career. Take this video down, because this is stoking a lot of anti-Kuro hate that they do not deserve. They deserve a lot of flack for a lot of things, no doubt about that.
Kuro Games does not deserve this. W Ryugu Sensei, absolutely.
But for this thing here, nah. It sounds opportunistic, and from the screenshot that I saw earlier, it is opportunistic, and you are riding on that to get, it's going up to 41,000 views now. Congratulations. That my usage of such information is never malicious. I do not doubt that the usage of that information wasn't, I'm sure that it wasn't malicious, but you making this video here absolutely is, and that is the problem. And that's why I've decided to go ahead with releasing this video. Jesus Christ. I don't like going into drama content, dude. This is not me. I don't want to do this, but I've seen other people like coming to your defense because the way you portrayed it, you do seem like the victim in here. But looking into it, you aren't. You're claiming victimhood, but you are not. And also this part here, I've been getting sent threats. I don't know what threat she's been sent. If she's talking about me saying, because I reached out to her in DMs like I mentioned earlier, saying, what you're saying right now is creating a great misconception. I want you to clear that up. I'm giving you the chance to clear that up because you're stoking the flames and getting people riled up for no reason. If she's referring to me here, saying, release a video, explain yourself, explain the facts of the matter, either you explain it or I will. If that counts as a threat, sure. The person that's done the bad thing first, just being told to fess up to that isn't really a threat in the sense of like it seems here, getting sent threats. Again, if this is referring to me specifically, it's not. If she's getting sent threats from other people, don't do that. But no, this is the way things are being
The council has decided that Maygi is now sentenced to exclusively only performing her theory crafting streams on Epic 7 for the next 10 years.
twisted here.
That's
from the original video and all the stuff that was being said.
KOD
my career. Nah.
To Epic 7.
That doesn't fly.
All right. Yeah, essentially that's basically the video regarding most of the situation with what happened to Maygi. And now this is the part where I wanna basically try to talk to you guys. Right? I'm trying to talk to you guys. So that is all the context that you needed to know for the Maygi situation. Right? You guys are a little bit fair. Let me just talk about this over here. There really isn't a very direct answer of whether this person is wrong or this person is right. And the way I see it is, she shouldn't have done the leaks, especially not on live stream. Now, even though it is a very, very time-consuming process, I think it can be. I think one of my chats said just now, it's like a thankless job. Guide making and theory crafting, especially if you're a numbers-focused guy, it is truly a thankless job. Nobody's paying you by the hourly rate to crunch numbers. No one. You are the only way you get paid as a theory crafter, the numbers person, is from the number of views you're getting. That is the brutal reality of content creation, especially if you want to be a theory crafter, right? People would even say, you know, it's like yeah, like why don't just do other content, you know, if it takes that much time, you know. But it is truly a very, very thankless job. And I don't even give a damn about the Warring Waves meta or like the numbers crunching or whatever. But I think that the Warring Waves community as a whole, people that want to watch these kind of guides, they should be happy that, you know, Maygi was, I don't know if she's still going to be doing it, creating these type of content for the players. Because I really don't know who else is going to take all this time to do it, right? So whether or not the leaks thing, it is the right or wrong thing, which we established, it is not right, right? The leaks themselves, right, talking about the numbers on stream, with 10,000 Jericho situations when like the name is exactly the same, it is wrong. Especially if you sign a contract to be in their, I guess their version of the creator server, right? It is technically against the rules. It's not technically, it is against the rules, right? It is wrong. But the final product, like the product that she is putting out for the community, is not something that the people deserve, but it's something that they need, you know? Especially if you need to look at these kind of like quantitative guides. I don't know who else is going to be doing it. But no matter what means that she's going to be doing, because no one is paying her to crunch numbers, right? And she's just doing it in her own time, and then she wanted to use this opportunity during her theory crafting process to stream it at the same time and generate a little bit more viewership, a little bit more ad revenue, in order to make ends meet. I'm not gonna be anyone to say that's the wrong thing to do, right? But that being said, you know, I don't really know if it really ends her career, because even if Maygi was removed from the content creator program for Warring Waves, right? She herself also said that she doesn't even rely on the server anyways. You know, she gets numbers from online anyways. So it's not like she even needs those things that the beta server provides, right? I think Zajev, right? Zajev also covers them extensively. I don't think he's allowed on the Genshin creator server as well, but he's still like cranking them out, you know, if he wants to. And I think a very, very similar thing can also be done with Maygi, right? I actually think that she's probably less reliant on the beta server than she realizes. Maybe the only thing that will be missing is that she can't really obtain the footage from day one, right? Because the guys, you need to get the in-game combat B-rolls. You want to showcase how the character works, you know, the different team comps. That is probably something that she's no longer able to obtain on day one. But the actual number crunching process itself, right, in order to get these things, she technically really doesn't need all that. And if anything, if people only care about the numbers, you know, she could just slap on the graphs and the maps and everything. Just play some random thing. Just play Dungeon behind. Just play Counter-Vela behind, sitting there for like 20 minutes, and then just slap on random numbers. I think people, if they want to know the numbers, they will still watch it. So yeah, that's my second thing about the thing. And this sort of also brings me to why this whole thing even happened in the first place, right? Because essentially this whole thing happened as of 7 hours ago because people mass reported her channel for leaking. Even though she did it, I think for a couple of weeks back, for Counter-Vela. The Zani thing, you know, is like theoretically if this Zani really comes out, you know, it's really just not a leak that much. But I do think it stems from, you know, I think she has also made her position very clear. She doesn't like the Warring Waves community, or at least the people that she has interacted with, right? I think it's very prominent on various social media platforms. It is not representative of the entire Warring Waves community, but it does constitute as a pretty large majority of the voices that we see online, especially if you play Warring Waves, right? And yeah, I was saying this to my chat just now before I started this video. Must you like your workplace, or must you like your colleagues, or must you even like the things that you're doing in order to have the right to do your job? Because in the real world, you can hate your boss, you can hate your colleagues, you can hate the work-life balance, you can hate everything. But at the end of the day, you are there to get your job done. Which for Maygi's case, she's essentially working for herself to create these kind of like quantitative guides as fast as she possibly could, in order to, you know, because at the end of the day, guides are still like, as fast as you get them, especially when the unit comes up, it would impact the viewership, right? She still wants to make ends meet while providing these type of content that she wants. So even if she hates the Water Waves community, even if she hated the anniversary patch, even if she hated Kuro games for the matter of fact, I don't think that really changes anything, man. Like it actually doesn't matter, because if anything, right, it's even more commendable that she is able to still continuously make these kind of like quantitative guides for Water Waves, despite how obnoxious her experience was with this kind of people, right? Despite everything, she's still willing to crunch numbers for this game, because I think I don't know if she likes the game. She probably does, because if not, I don't see any reason why she want to stick with Water Waves if she already hates the community as well as, at this point, I guess, the developers, right? So yeah, that is sort of like my food for thought, especially if you guys are working in the real world. I'm sure that a lot of people, if you're white collar or whatever comes up, you will know that this kind of like office politics, you hate your colleagues, they're snakes, they're rats, they're like fucking corporate bootlickers, they want to climb the corporate ranks and get a promotion. There are all types of these kind of people everywhere, and you don't have to like your colleagues in order to do your job. So all the screenshots of like Maygi saying that, what is the thingy, right? All the screenshots of her saying, oh my god, this is the perfect opportunity, yeah, like, oh my god, this company is cooked, I hate the Water Waves community. I really think it doesn't matter, man. Like all these things, even though, yeah, sure, she might look like, okay, she hates this game and therefore she's like a rat, she's a snake. I think it's fine. If anything, yeah, like I mentioned, right, like even after all these things, she's still able to put in the effort into the guide video, the numbers crunching, and provide the guides for players as fast as she possibly could to work with these kind of like environment around her, right? So that's gonna be my personal opinion regarding this matter. And finally, I want to just touch on one last thing before I end this video. Is it really a net positive for this decision to be the final verdict? Because I think it's overall a very, very unfortunate situation for everybody, actually, not just for Maygi or like the community or whatever. It is unfortunate for Maygi because, respectfully, she broke the rules, right? She probably signed a contract with Water Waves saying that, okay, if you want to get into the content creator server, you can't leak numbers, right? I'm pretty sure there's such like you cannot leak this kind of like multipliers with like 10,000 theoretical situations. Even though you want to say it's a gray line, it's technically not Canderella, but like, you signed the paper, you're not joining, right? And you technically broke it. And respectfully, the world is just like this, The world isn't gonna bend to your circumstances as an individual. The world isn't gonna change for you. And even though it's gonna take a huge number of time to make guides, to crunch numbers, to do graphs, on stream or off stream, it is a thankless job. And that's the real world. And it's just a reality that you have to work with. And if you're not okay with this reality, then, you can't be in the content creator server, right? It is what it is. It is very cruel. It is very real. There's no sympathy. It's just, yeah, welcome to the real world, right? It's unfortunate. So it's very unfortunate for Maygi. I also do think, however, it is very unfortunate for the community as well as a whole. I think if Maygi was to quit making content for Water Waves, especially for all the guides, I think Water Waves community would lose a extremely strong pillar of foundation when it comes to like the whole guide making scene, the content scene for Water Waves. And there are barely any guide makers left for Water Waves. Like guide makers, they are like legit full on doing the math for you guys, literally doing the math in order to get the best quantitative guides available. There really isn't. They're like an endangered species. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the Water Waves, the community and the content creators, I don't think any of them will come close to the level of scrutiny and the knowledge that they have in order to push out these numbers. It is not a content that anyone can just say, yeah, I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to do it. It is not that easy. And for Maygi to essentially, I don't know if she will lose her job or if she will stop making content for Water Waves. But if she does stop, it is a overall negative for the community. Because what's going to happen is you're probably not going to find someone else that's going to do this ever again. And if you do, it's probably not to the same level of expertise. Unless someone can, step up and do something very similar. But for the community as a whole, I think it's also very, very unfortunate. And finally, one last thing that's unfortunate is it's also a little bit unfortunate for all of the I feel like it's a little bit unfortunate for the game. Because it's a little bit like the anniversary was mid, right? It was a mid anniversary, right? The CN just made a huge fuss. I just made a video talking about it. I don't know if Des is gonna listen. And then on top of everything that's happened, you know, with the fucking skin voucher, 10 rerun banners, and all that kind of stuff, for Wuthering Waves to essentially potentially lose Maygi as like this content creator when it comes to quantitative guides, I feel like what's gonna happen is that not all, right? Like I said, not all, but the vocal social online presence of Wuthering Waves, they are gonna be in a very difficult position. If they criticize the anniversary for Wuthering Waves, they are gonna look like tourists. Because like I said in my very first video, you shouldn't care that much about a game's anniversary, or like a game's anniversary shouldn't make you want to play or quit the game. Especially if you're somebody that's been playing this day one. The only people that would say, okay, I'm gonna quit the game because of an anniversary, you were tourists to begin with. And you were already gonna quit. So if people criticize, if they start to criticize Wuthering anniversary, they will get exposed as a tourist, right? If they don't criticize the Wuthering Waves anniversary patch, they will get exposed as hypocrites. Because these exact same vocal minorities, they have done the same thing for every other gacha game. And now that it has happened, you know, if you don't do it, people are gonna say, okay, this guy's just a bot. So it's a very weird situation where nothing they can really do is like the correct option. And losing Maygi in like the content space for Wuthering Waves, it will just drive even more attention, feeding into the type of content that is revolving around Wuthering Waves in general. With the whole anniversary patch, and then now this thing just dropped like this morning. That the timing is very unfortunate for everyone as a whole. Unless you play Epic. Okay, I'm gonna stop, guys. I'm gonna stop, right? But yeah, those are like my 2 cents regarding this entire matter. What I think about the leaks, what I think about whether what she did was right or wrong, what I think the impacts for the community going forward. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think this will be the last time I'm hearing from this. If anything, I mean, I'm not gonna be talking about this anymore. This is just gonna be a one-time thing. I'm back to my own stuff now. Looking forward to see all the other content creators giving their 2 cents in the next 24 hours or 48 hours. Yeah, word of the day is gonna be clear. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join Twitter, all the best. Okay, see you guys next time. Take care.